I mean, I was thinking because everybody talks about the A9 algorithm, which is primarily for search. How does Amazon, and then they have their algorithm for who gets to be in the buy box and whether or not. So it's that's what I was trying to identify which one. Okay.
So let's
All
just say,
right.
Nick, let's just use another example, right? So let's just say you are um, determining what to wear for the day, right? So let's think about the inputs. I'm in Florida right now. So you're going to think about, okay, like what's the temperature in Florida? Is there a chance of rain today? Um, is it windy outside? Am I going far? Am I going to be walking or am I going to be running or am I going to be in my car? Uh, is there cloud coverage outside? So you're taking all of these inputs and you're creating output based on the inputs. So based on those inputs, you might say, okay, I'm gonna wear my Patagonia shorts. I'm gonna wear sweat wicking underwear on top of it. I'm going to just wear a very, very light tee. I'm only going 2 blocks. So that is what I'm going to pluck out of my closet based on those inputs. And it's the same thing with algorithms, right? We're taking all of those inputs and creating output based on those inputs.
Mhm. Okay. And does this apply to products of any price, like low price, mid price, or high price, high ticket items, or doesn't matter?
It doesn't. That's a great question. It doesn't matter. We can. So if let's just say we have sellers that are really low price, and Amazon has this 9.99 threshold where if you go over there, or if you're over it, right, you're sort of given a higher fee. But if you're under it, there's a small and light fee, especially that happens. And so we figure out what is the sweet spot based on the fees of Amazon. So to answer your question precisely, it's whether you're a low price or you're a medium price, or you're a high price. We can train our model around whatever your price is based on all the other inputs.
Yeah. So I guess if you are low price, this is even more important because you want to increase your price, right?
Yeah,
It's,
I mean, it just depends on the zigs and zags of the market, and uh,
yeah. And do you ever have a situation like, for example, as you know, as you increase your sales velocity, your BSR goes up. So generally, BSR is driven by your sell-through rate. So do you ever have a situation where the BSR gets better and then you increase the price, and then uh, it keeps one keeps pushing the other up, up and up and up, and then suddenly you price yourself out of the market? Do you ever have that situation?
no, because like our profit model, for example, profit was the first objective that we set out to achieve, and that was because of my own business. I have 500 private label SKUs. The idea is, and we never worked on price. We never changed price. So I was like, okay, well, there's an opportunity there. What if we can change price but not sacrifice our ranking position on Amazon? We won't hurt our BSR. And so our model will try to maximize profit without hurting the BSR or your ranking position. And
Okay.
so it'll start testing different levels to figure out what is the optimal price without affecting your rank.
Yeah, because that's something a long time ago when I was a seller. I was not selling my own products. I was competing on the buy box with other resellers, and those incremental changes would make a huge impact in winning the buy box. And at the same time, sometimes we would be the only seller. Then, of course, it's up to us what to price. And there, I had to make certain. Uh, it's not because there's nobody to compare to. So you're just plugging in a price. So do you ever have those situations where, okay, if it ever goes beyond this, then don't exceed this kind of situation?
Well, so we have the floor price and the ceiling price already baked in, right? So we have these like guidelines from the seller. Now, sometimes our data science team will say, hey, by the way, your min price and your max price are too strict. And it's preventing our model from maximizing the opportunity here, right? And so then we'll ask the person if they can adjust, if they're willing to adjust the min price and the max price.
Okay, so there's that protection, bottom line.
There's
Because
a
you
whole lot of
also,
protection. I mean, even if you're, let's just say you get suppressed, your buy box suppressed, our system immediately picks up on it and resets back to the original price. But it's learning what that threshold is now, so now you know what that threshold is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So for anybody listening who's looking to do this themselves, first of all, lesson number one is don't just keep your price the same, play with your price, and then keep tracking your BSR, and then make incremental changes, and then make sure you set your minimums and maximums so that you know you're not gonna look, because minimum is another one, right? So you can't be selling less than X because otherwise you'll be out of pocket. So
Yep.
set your minimums and maximums so that way you know you don't exceed something that's gonna hurt you, and equally you don't go below
Yep.
without sacrificing profit. Well, that's great. This is a no-brainer because you're increasing the size of the pie. You know, if a dollar is coming in now, it's $1.05, and it may sound too little, but that's 5%, right?
5%. If right now we're seeing a 10 to 15% lift in profit for gross profit for brands that we're working with, 10 to 15%. Now, that is massive for an e-commerce brand, especially those that are suffering and getting squeezed right now with the new fees. So I'm super happy with those that are implementing this objective around profit in Prophecy to change pricing. And again, you can try to do this yourself. I'm not just here pitching if it's Prophecy, even though I think that we have the best mousetrap on the market. You can try to, if you have one SKU, right, you can do this yourself and you can actually figure out what's the optimal decision
Yeah.
for your product.